So, in case y'all have not heard, the Rams went ahead and completed their second joint practice with the Cincinnati Bengals yesterday. And it was the second of two scheduled joint practices they were going to have with each other. And first one went off. It was relatively smooth, but the second one on Thursday, however, had a had multiple fights. Leonard Floyd on our side and Lalel Collins, offensive lineman on the Bengals, seemed to be involved in a lot of them. And there was several other fights going on. Another big one was Aaron Donald got involved, actually ripped at one point, had like two helmets in each, it had a helmet in each hand. And yeah, and so the Rams and the Bengals decided to call the practice early. And it was bound to happen. You know what I mean? I mean, these two teams just played in the Super Bowl several months ago, back in February, and the Bengals were on the losing end. We've been there. It sucks, and it's I don't know if it was the wisest decision to have a joint practice with them specifically, but from what I understand, they couldn't find anyone else. So, and the Rams like to have their starters play other teams in a joint practice setting as opposed to a preseason game setting. So it is what it is, So that happened. It wasn't anything crazy. These fights are never anything crazy. It's just some punches were thrown though. Like Lalel Collins threw some punches, but other than that, no one got hurt. But Sean was asked about it, and he shared his thoughts about the brawl. And we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what he said here. Let's see. So yeah, there was three fights broke out on the field. The last one turned into an all-out brawl. Lalel Collins, Leonard Floyd got into it multiple times, like I said. And Collins at one point did get Floyd's helmet and threw it at him. So that was I don't know, man. I guess they just didn't like each other. And like I said, Aaron Donald could be seen with two Bengals helmets in each hand, and he did swing one. He did swing one of them multiple times at other players in the massive scrum. Teams were separated, no one was injured, and they essentially called it. So here's what Sean said. I knew, he's quoted here, I knew yesterday was too good to be true, referring to the clean practice the team had. He doesn't know what started it, but he saw it as players defending their teammates on both sides. Okay, so this is a big quote by him here. So this is Sean. I don't know exactly what instigated it. I think in some instances, teams defending each other, he said. Fortunately, my understanding is nobody got hurt and we'll move on from it. Not going to make a bigger deal than what it is. Not going to look at pointing fingers on who did what. But just like Zach would say, I expect our guys to defend their teammates, vice versa. There are certain things you don't know exactly what occurred, but I am glad my understanding is nobody got injured, and that's the most important thing. We'll move on, and we got enough stuff done to be able to evaluate it. Okay. All right. When things got out of control, McVay went into the pile and attempted to calm the situation down, pulling players away from the scrum. He tried to explain his thought process of going to the center of it all, saying he just didn't want anyone to get injured. So this is Sean. So Sean went ahead and got himself in the middle of it. This is one of the reasons why I love Sean. Sean getting his hands dirty, getting in the middle of it. And he's about to talk about it here. Quoted, I don't know what I was. I don't know what I was. I just see guys swinging, and some guys have helmets on, some don't. There's a scrum. You just never know what can occur. And my biggest concerns is just unnecessary injuries for people that we're counting on, whether it's for our team or the other team. That to me is where I care about these guys, especially when you start throwing punches with gear on. I've been enough of a meathead in my past that I've done some stupid stuff too. I know how volatile and fragile it is where you hit it the wrong way and you break your hand and it could affect a guy's chances to be okay, or God forbid someone gets hit in the head with a helmet off. And that's one thing too, you know, a lot of football, it's, tensions are high, but I've seen where like football players will try to punch a guy with a helmet on. Not really the smartest decision there. You'll end up hurting your hand more than you'll hurt him. And it's these guys have pads on, and the biggest concern is if you're using a helmet to bash another dude on the head, if he's not wearing a helmet, that can do some damage. So you really don't want to be doing that. And my goodness, man, my goodness. It remains to be seen if Donald will be disciplined at all for swinging a helmet at players, but the NFL doesn't handle punishments for incidents that occur in practice. The teams are responsible for that. Yeah, so it is important to understand that when it comes to practices or joint practices, if there's any type of rule breaking or anything like that, the NFL doesn't get involved. It's up to the individual franchise, the individual team. Okay? The NFL only gets involved if there's some sort of infraction during a game setting, during a regular game setting. Otherwise, if it's in practice, the NFL doesn't hand down the punishment. The team hands down the punishment. So, with what happened on Thursday, the NFL, according to the rules, shouldn't be getting involved. The teams, the individual teams, the Bengals, punish their players that got into the fight however they see fit, and we punish our players who got into the fight however we see fit. And that's essentially how that goes. So I'm sure they'll talk to Donald. I mean, look, man. I mean, things get crazy sometimes, but you shouldn't be swinging a helmet. You can get in a lot of trouble for that, especially if that connected on someone's skull. But I'm sure they'll talk to him about that. And I highly doubt he gets suspended. I highly, highly, highly doubt that the Rams are going to say, you know what, you're not playing against the Bills. I just don't see that happening. But that's going to be it. What did I say? I mean, it was always odd to me that they, out of all the teams in the NFL, they picked the Bengals to have joint practices with not too long after a Super Bowl, a game where there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of heartbreak and craziness that goes on. And I understand Sean and Zach know each other, but I don't know. I don't know. It's at the end of the day, it's really not a big deal. No one got hurt, so that's good. A few punches thrown, but it's par for the course. And everyone got out of it. And Sean apparently says they got some good work out of it, so that's good. I heard there was we did good. Apparently, we did really good in this joint practice. We got some good work in. Bengals did some good things too. They're going to be good this year. So it's hey, it is what it is. We're moving on. We'll play the Bengals tomorrow, I believe, on Saturday, and we'll see how they do. So that's going to be it. I will catch you guys on the next one. And as always, go Rams.